Hello, friends and followers. Well, it's time to change the RF preamp transistors for this radio. So I finally got these in from an eBay seller. These are like 10 bucks a piece. Supposedly the original transistors from Sony that go in this thing. These are N-channel FET, and I guess these burn up pretty easily. These are from the mid-80s and probably lack protections they should have. Anyway, I didn't want to fuss around with experimenting with putting in later type of N-channel JFETs due to the input impedance being different. I think these are like 4 or 5 puffs or something going in. I just didn't want to be mucking around with this radio anymore, so the best thing to do is replace it with what goes in there, which I found these, so in they go. So the first rule of thumb here is to locate your FETs, and there they sit. You can see this connector on the bottom with the RF wire coming in, and those are right about where? These two guys with the white caps on them are the two FETs. Now, luckily for us, they're labeled in how they go in. I recommend not messing around with drain source and gate, all that crap. Just put them in the way they go and get the right parts and put them in visually, and don't muck around with the wires. Just understand how they go in from the visual reps, and they also have nice stenciling on the board to help you. The next problem is to find out where on the bottom of this board to unsolder these. And so the way that happened for me was, you can see the VFO casing through here. And so I simply used my finger to mark where I was looking at through here. And let me put my head back there and see where I was. The VFO casing, yes, put your finger on it to figure out where to go. And where's my finger? Not seeing it now. Anyway, that's not working out real well. Let me show you how I finally found it visually on the back side here. So this is the RF board, and of course you got to take apart the AF board to get to it, and the shield, which is very unpleasant, but that's how it is. So let's tip this radio over without crushing my fingers. Use the handle, I guess, to tip it over. This thing is a beast. All right, tipping. Oh, jeez. So here I have the AF board flipped over already, and I've located where to put these things. So right now I want to make sure the AF board is not in the way. Of course, I have nothing to tie it back with. You want to jam something in here to kind of get the board to maybe the instruction book will work, right? Let's try this. There, just put something on the board to keep it out of the way. Now, I did find these transistors, and you want to look for the little plug that has 4 connections, which basically is here. Let me get a screwdriver to show you where it is. Yeah, this is pretty neat because you can tell the transistor pattern by looking at it. So there is where the plug is, the little 4-pin plug with antenna and AGC and ground and antenna ground. And you can see the typical transistor triangle pattern of these. So I'm not sure what these are and don't care about about drain and gate and source, but I'm simply going to put them in visually. So my objective now is going to be to unsolder these points and pull them out, if I got that right. All right, so soldering iron on. I have some solder suckers there on the ready, and let's see how this works out. We'll see if I can get the camera in the right spot, and indeed it is. So this should be like an action comic here. Maybe you'll see something, right? All right, I'm gonna move the radio now a little bit so I can get in there. Not that it changed the camera angle at all, but get some more light. I have 2 work tables and I don't have actually one table is an office table and it has a nice light. This one is my work table, which was my old office table. It does not have a good light yet. I gotta buy a good light for this table. I'm using an old light from the family here, which works, but it's not ideal. All right, iron is heating up. Gonna grab a reasonable solder sucker tool here. There's 2 of them that I have. One works well, one does not. Let's get the one that works well. I bought these solder suckers on Amazon and they weren't much, I think $9 for 3 of them or something. People complain about China and military and all that, but they make some pretty good stuff. It's cheap, it works. This would probably be $40 in the USA, so. Okay, so it's working pretty well. So you want to cock your solder sucker and then start working on these joints. You don't want to ruin the circuit board. Just going to start off and see if I can get one of these off here. That didn't work. You want to make sure your iron's tinned too and it's ready to go. This one's not. So much for my accurate video, right? Gonna get something to wipe the iron off with. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe this thing off with some paper, napkin or something. It's been laying around. And now you can see it looks better. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, I don't like unsoldering stuff at all. This is very painful. But that's how it is when you have an old radio. That's working. Hit it. Okay, that one came out. Let's get the next one. So you can see them melting. That didn't work. And you don't want to make these too hot. And sometimes when you kind of half take these off, you want to put solder back on them and try and suck it all out. This one might be that tight. I keep missing, is a problem. Okay, come on, don't miss. 3 times on here is too many. That was a direct hit, but okay, that one is an example where it's not going to come out. And I screwed it up, so you actually want to be counterintuitive here and resolder it and then do it again. So I'm going to resolder it. A little bit of solder on there, and now you want to suck it all off in one big swoop, and don't screw it up. Just line it up nice and suck it all off. And that didn't work out real well, and I could smell a board burning, but that's how it is. Okay, well, let's ignore that and move on. Yeah, these aren't coming out real good at all. Well, that one's loose. This might be one where you gotta cut the transistors and pull with some pliers. I've had good luck with this radio unsoldering things so far. Even on this board. So that didn't go well. And sometimes you can take needle nose and see which leads came loose by perturbing them a bit. So let's see if any of these came loose or not. That one didn't. No, it did. That one actually came out. So I clipped one of these, so that is good. I'm not sure where the end of it went, but that one actually was loose. Okay, there's the end right there. So I think that's the end of the wire there when I clipped that one. So yeah, it's there. So that one came out. So there we go. I think. That one didn't. This one looks promising. I think that one came loose too. You don't want to put too much pressure on these because you'll break the board. The traces will come off. And sometimes you can just wiggle these and they'll come off the rest of the way. They'll at least be loose. Apply heat and move them around. A little bit of heat and then move it and see if that'll work. Okay, that one is loose. So that's a way to coax these out. This one here looks like it might be the same kind of rigmarole. Heat it up and then just kind of wiggle it. Gotta be careful. Come on. Okay, that one, thank goodness, came loose, I think. Now, this thing still may not pull out because there's solder at the end of these transistors leads, but at least they're loose, so. Painful, huh? Okay, and that one here, this one will need some heat and some sucking. Let's try that. So unfortunately, there's no double E knowledge involved here. It's all just simply luck and the suck. And your objective is not to ruin this damn thing. Okay, that one, come on. It might have cleaned off some solder. That was loose. Gonna try and wiggle it again. You don't want to go too much heat. Okay, that one's loose. And that makes 3 loose on that transistor. That one's gone. That leaves only one more. We'll try and loosen this one by heat and shaking it. Okay, that's not working out too well. I think that one has disappeared into the radio. All right, so from this point, it would be nice to get some needle nose on these transistors and just yank them out from the bottom. And we keep the top open for observability and for operation. So that's probably what we should do now. So I'm going to move the radio so that a lot of it is off the table and I can look up into it and see how that works. Boom. Okay, there's probably a gap into it. And then the trick is to get some needle nose onto these old parts and try to pull them out from the bottom because they'll probably stick. So let's try that. I'm going to try and find some bigger needle nose. All right, here's some heftier needle nose that I'm going to just grab the epoxy body of one of these and see if I can wrestle it out from the bottom. You don't see me moving very fast because this is basically very unpleasant work. Okay. I should have replaced these when I had the board out, but I didn't. Didn't have them. Didn't even think I'd make the video work at all, so I guess I wasn't worried about it. When you make some progress and you want it perfect, that's how life is. I wish my health was that way. Okay. Put my lamp down here. I'm just trying to get it positioned under the radio so I can look up and see what's going on. And yank out one of those maybe. I'm not going to show it on the camera because I don't think I have enough hands to do that, but trust me, I'm under the radio. And looking up into it as I showed you where these parts were. And I can see them. I'm gonna grab one of them. They painted them white, which is nice, I guess. Oh yeah, it looks pretty loose, huh? Well, I got dinner bell, so this video's gonna stop. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.